John sits at a worn oak table in his modest apartment on the edge of a small American town. He's 57, his hands rough from decades as a mechanic, resting still on the tablecloth. Outside, a light rain taps the window, and the only sound inside is the ticking of an old wall clock. John stares at a faded photo of himself and his wife, Emily, taken years ago in a state park, their arms around each other, faces lit with laughter. But now Emily sleeps in the next room, and John feels a chasm between them. Not because the love is gone. It's still there, warm and familiar. But something shifted. He shifted. For months, John's noticed his body isn't the ally it once was. Fatigue hits harder. In bed with Emily, he feels awkward, like his body's betraying him, failing to match his desires. He brushes it off with a joke, changes the subject, but inside, anxiety festers. Last night, when Emily suggested a quiet evening together, he lied about a headache and retreated to the TV. He doesn't know how to tell her he's afraid of letting her down. He doesn't know how to admit he's scared of aging. John's not alone. Thousands of American men and women over 50 face this silent crisis where body, mind, and relationships play by new rules. They chalk it up to age, but the truth runs deeper. I'm Dr. Sarah Thompson, an endocrinologist and aging specialist with 20 years of experience. I've worked with people like John, strong, sharp, loving, who thought their best days were behind them. They were wrong. Your health, intimacy, and confidence don't vanish with age. They demand a new approach. Today, I'll share a story revealing how habits you thought were harmless can quietly ruin your life, and how intentional steps can reclaim it. These aren't just tips. They're a roadmap to living vibrantly, loving deeply, and aging with strength. If you're ready for the truth, stick with me. As Oprah Winfrey once said, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. Let's start this journey. Picture yourself at 30. Energy was endless. You could work all day, laugh all night, and wake up without an alarm. Intimacy with your partner was effortless, like breathing, no plans needed. For many, it wasn't just fun. It was proof of their vitality, their identity. But past 50, things change. Your body needs more time to recover. Desire's there, but it's like it's locked behind a door you can't quite open. The first truth, spontaneity after 50, is a myth. Expecting things to work like they did in your 20s sets you up for disappointment. Take Mike, a 55-year-old truck driver from Ohio. Mike was the life of every barbecue, always quick with a story. But lately, he's been dodging intimacy with his wife, Lisa. One night, after a candlelit dinner, he tried to be close, but his body didn't respond. He laughed it off, said he was tired, but inside, he felt like he'd lost a piece of himself. Mike thought it was just age, that he was past his prime. He didn't come to me right away. Men rarely do until the wait's unbearable. When we met, he admitted, I thought it had just happened, like it always did. Intimacy after 50 is an art of intention. It doesn't mean passion's dead. It means it needs care. Check your medications. Some, like antidepressants or blood pressure pills, can dampen libido. Talk to your partner. Honesty builds trust stronger than any spark. Make sure you're sleeping enough, because exhaustion kills desire. Mike started small. He took walks with Lisa, opened up about his fears, and I helped him tweak his diet and add supplements. 3 months later, he told me, I feel alive again. Planning isn't weakness. It's respect for yourself and your body. As Dr. Phil McGraw says, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Acknowledging the need for intention is the first step. But this story isn't just about intimacy. It's about how your body talks to you and how you might miss it. Back to John. He didn't realize his fatigue and bedroom struggles weren't just age. When he finally saw me, I noticed he kept rubbing his chest, mentioning a slight ache. He brushed it off, just overdid it at the garage. I insisted on tests. Results showed high cholesterol and early signs of vascular issues. John was floored. I thought it was just a bedroom thing, he said. This is the second truth. Your body after 50 is a health barometer, and intimacy issues can signal something serious. Erections, libido, energy, they all hinge on blood flow, hormones, and nerves. If something's off, it could be an early warning of diabetes, heart trouble, or even depression. I've seen men ignore these signs for years, thinking it'll pass. One, Tom, a 59-year-old small business owner from Texas, came to me when he couldn't climb stairs without gasping. He thought his bedroom issues were just stress. Tests revealed prediabetes and a high heart attack risk. Tom was furious with himself. If I'd known sooner, I wouldn't have let it get this bad. Ignoring these signals is like ignoring smoke in your house. Intimacy problems can point to clogged arteries, hormonal imbalances, or chronic stress. And that affects more than the bedroom. It affects how many years you'll share with those you love. The good news? It's fixable. A simple checkup, cholesterol, testosterone, blood sugar can give answers. Tom changed his diet, added exercise, and started vascular meds. 6 months later, he didn't just reclaim his confidence in bed, he dropped 20 pounds, and his eyes sparkled again. Your body's honest. Are you listening? As Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. Now, let's dig deeper, because health isn't just physical, it's emotional. Imagine Karen, a 53-year-old schoolteacher from Colorado. She came to me complaining of chronic fatigue. She looked older than her years, not from wrinkles, but from a hollowness in her gaze. Her husband, David, was still by her side, but she felt alone. We're like roommates, she said. I can't remember the last time we hugged. This is the third truth. Intimacy after 50 is emotional medicine, and without it, you're starving your soul. Physical touch, hugs, hand-holding, even a pat on the back, triggers oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. These chemicals don't just feel good. They lower stress, boost immunity, and protect your heart. Lose that connection, and your health suffers. I've seen people like Karen slip into depression, insomnia, or frequent illness, not from age, but from emotional hunger. Karen admitted she stopped initiating intimacy, fearing rejection. David stayed quiet, not wanting to bother her. They were both suffering in silence. Many over 50 believe vulnerability is weakness. Men think they must be tough, women that they shouldn't, Ayalida. System, pushy. But this silence destroys. Without emotional intimacy, your brain ages faster, stress ravages your body, and loneliness becomes toxic. I've seen men and women look a decade older, not from wrinkles, but from hollow spirits. But there's a way back. Karen and David started small. I suggested they spend 10 minutes daily talking about feelings, not bills or kids, but their hearts. They began touching more, light hugs, a hand on the shoulder. 2 months later, Karen said, I feel seen again. Emotional intimacy isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. As Brené Brown says, vulnerability is the birthplace of connection and the path to the feeling of worthiness. But there's a darker side we rarely discuss. Back to John. Lately, he spent evenings at his computer. At first, it was news, then videos he watched after Emily went to bed. He didn't think it was a problem, but he noticed real intimacy with Emily stopped exciting him. He was ashamed to admit it, but the screen pulled him more than her. This is the fourth truth. Digital habits, like pornography or endless scrolling, steal your ability for real connection. Screens offer easy dopamine, instant gratification, no effort. But they rewire your brain. Real intimacy takes time, vulnerability, presence, while screens train you to crave a fantasy that doesn't exist. John admitted he started comparing Emily to what he saw online, eroding his confidence. He felt guilty, but couldn't stop. Over time, even when he and Emily were close, he couldn't focus. His brain craved the stimulation he'd conditioned it for. This issue runs deep. Pornography or social media can spark addiction, lower libido, and crush self-esteem. I've seen couples drift apart, not from affairs, but from digital walls. John thought he was just aging, but he was trapped. The way back wasn't easy. I suggested a month-long screen detox, focusing on real sensations, walks, talks, touches. He started meditating to regain mental control. 3 months later, he said, I feel her again. And me. Screens aren't harmless fun. They're a choice that shapes your life. Now, the final truth, one that can cost everything. Picture Mark, a 60-year-old retired firefighter from Florida. After retiring, he dated a woman who made him feel 40 again. One night, after a great date, he felt unstoppable. Ignoring a slight chest pain he'd had all day, he dove into intimacy like he was 30. Minutes later, he collapsed, gasping. Paramedics saved him, but his confidence didn't recover. This is the fifth truth. After 50, intimacy isn't a race to prove you're young. It's about respecting your body. Men and women often want to prove they still got it. A compliment, a new romance, a good day, and they ignore their limits. But intimacy after 50 stresses your heart, vessels, everything. Without care, it's risky. I've seen people land in ERs for ignoring signals, shortness of breath, pain, fatigue. Worse, I've counseled those who lost partners to heart attacks during intimacy, tragedies that could have been prevented. Mark's mistake wasn't desire, it was ego. He wanted to be who he was, not who he'd become, wiser, seasoned, alive. I taught him to listen to his body, monitor blood pressure, stick to meds, talk to his partner about what's comfortable. He learned to slow down, savor the moment, not prove anything. I'm no hero, he told me. I just want to be with her. That's strength, being present, fully here. As Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. So, where does this leave you? Maybe you see yourself in John, Mike, Karen, or Mark. Maybe you felt the sting of a failed moment, the weight of silence, the fear your best years are gone. But they're not. Your capacity for love, connection, and vitality is still here. These 5 truths, intention over spontaneity, your body as a health signal, intimacy as emotional medicine, digital traps, and the danger of proving yourself, aren't warnings. They're invitations to live differently, age boldly, love bravely. The hardest part of aging isn't physical change. It's the fear you're no longer enough, that your struggles are shameful. But you're not alone. Your body's evolving, not betraying you. Start a conversation with your partner, doctor, yourself. Check your health. Drop habits that drain you. Stop believing your story's over. It's just starting. If this stirred you, if it sparked reflection or hope, don't walk away unchanged. Talk to someone you love. Book a checkup. Take a step. Your health, intimacy, and life are what you choose today. You deserve more than silence. You deserve a life of strength, love, and meaning. Start now.